Ladies and gentlemen, we are back for this weekend. I have an amazing guest, commentator in the booth, Azraf Azmi. He is all the way from Singapore, a GTMR driver. We have 24 drivers here today as we switch this bad boy over to the end of practice session as we follow Farmer around the final corner. Mr. Azmi, how are you doing this wonderful day?
I am doing amazing. I can't wait for this race. This is the first time joining the commentator booth ever since the last season, actually.
That is awesome to hear as we wait for the final countdown of the 1 minute and 30 seconds left in free practice to see this finish its way around here at Indianapolis. And there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Qualifying is over as we wait to see the tracks get rolling. And there you see that beautiful livery by Liam McNeil's Mercedes Benz. Mr. Cagnes is in the chat here as well. Welcome, Mr. Cagnes. You are actually out on the track. You have asked me ever so respectfully to botch your last name here in this race. And I know you go
I have a
by
feeling I'm gonna
Luke.
botch half of the people.
That is 100% acceptable. You are still getting used to it. As you see, Indianapolis has a extremely long straightaway, and here goes Luke or Uhaz I don't know. I already told you I was going to destroy your last name, and what a shame it was. I could not pronounce your name. So you're going to go by Luke today, or AKA Mr. Cagnes, the number 13 car in the Ferrari. As we have also Sorted Keyboard in the chat. Just going to watch. Too slow. What a shame there. We would love to see you on the track, but we understand uh, you have had a quite a delay in the sim racing world, and we are following around Alex R. Doing here, going around Indianapolis in this midsection with the Caterpillar Porsche as well. So, Asby, what are you expecting out of these drivers here in this qualifying session?
I mean, I've been watching them driving the practice session. Adwin was flying, Carter was also flying. So many drivers going so fast around this track.
Yeah, it is. It's definitely one of a tricky track as well. I know a lot of drivers were hoping for that final chicane to be removed and to allow the cars to get onto the back straight. Uh, the original way of Indianapolis, allowing the guys to really feel what it's like the speed of Indianapolis Motor Speedway, the oval section. And here we go, everybody. Here comes Alex R. doing on to the main straight. He's going to have Zach Hendricks right behind him in tow, followed with you see Aiden Hasselbrock and Carter Bennett, and then as well as Casey Bennett in the far distance as they all come rolling into turn one in that Porsche. Not much of a different car layout that we usually see here, Azraf. We see a lot more Porsche, Ferraris, and McLarens and Lamborghinis, mostly due to the new car pack here as well. I mean, what do you think of the new cars in the game?
I have only tried the Porsche, but it it's a big learning curve from the previous Porsche, especially because of the new update. But I love the Porsche. I have a place in my heart for the Porsche, so have to go with the Porsche as my favorite car.
That's awesome to hear. Porsche is definitely a wonderful brand. I myself have fallen in love with the 296 Ferrari. As we also have Fox and the Moon in the chat. Welcome, Fox and the Moon. It's definitely awesome to have you here as well. Sadly, we do not have LaRock Racing with us tonight, but we are up to 25 drivers, ladies and gentlemen, for this race here at Indianapolis. Let's take a look here. Alex Arduin is going to set provisional pull here with 21 minutes left to go. What can he do? He was doing 136 in free practice. Cross the line with a 35.9, everybody. Here comes Hendricks. He crosses 1.8 off the pace. Aiden Hasselbrock. Can he break it? No, he cannot. He's zero point 0.9 off the pace. Mr. Bruce Hopkins in the orange and yellow Ferrari 296 coming up to the final chicane. He's going to have Alan Zhu in front of him. What also looks to be Ryan Trent behind him. Ryan Trent being a newer driver to the league. Definitely showcasing a lot of pace and performance out of the first race at Donington. And also Paul Ricard. Let's take a look. Shuffler up to P3. 1.5. Trent P5. Sean New 6. Hopkins 7. Nortright. P8, Alan Zhu, P9 as everybody starts trickling in as they start to develop here. Also, Azur, what are your main thoughts of this track of Indianapolis? Not some of the normal tracks that we usually see here. You know, like this. Usually, we're always used to the Formula One stuff of the street circuit at Singapore, which I absolutely adore and love. You know, you hear drivers also talking about them loving Sepang out in Malaysia, as well as, you know, some people also like the Chinese Grand Prix circuit. You know, what's your thoughts here, taking a look at this Indianapolis circuit?
I mean, I was trying to drive it yesterday, but in the Porsche, this is the track is amazing. A lot of understeering, oversteering moments going into the corners, especially after the middle straight going. So I think the drivers who are getting these lap times are absolute aliens around this track.
Yeah. No,
Looks
100%. As we start to follow along here, we have Thomas Baker coming into P13, 2.9 off the pace. So right now we got Alex Ardoin P1 with a 135.9. Still hasn't been broken as we have a yellow in the track, and that is gone. As we follow along, Casey Bennett still 7 tenths off the pace, 8 at Hasselbrock, 8 tenths off the pace of Alex Ardoin. So we start to see a lot of the people start rolling in here. We see Louis Bonara coming into P9 as well. Let's take a look down here, down the grid. Some of the drivers that have yet to set a time. Here comes Mohammed Irfan. He is, the Delta is showing that he's 1.5 seconds off the pace into the heavy braking zone here into the final chicane here as he comes out onto the final corner here. Let's see what he can do. I don't know. He may have invalidated it. He did a lap already. So we see Wilson Fernandez. He is up 4 tenths on his time. Let's take a look. Irfan has not set a time here. See Wilson Fernandez, one of our Brazilian drivers here that has joined us. He's in the Maca GT3 Evo as he comes through here super late on the brakes as he hooks in through the corner. Let's take a look. Who else do we have that has yet to set a time? Take a look. Chris Rise is up on his time here as he comes out through the final corner. But can he make it valid in that beautiful Porsche? He does. P12. 2.6 ahead of Thomas Baker, right behind the Joshua Piast. There's Ryan Trent in the background there getting a massive tow. Wilson Fernandez still 8 tenths up as he comes through here on this back half. We're going to ride along board with him because Mohammed Irfan right behind him as they come through. Irfan up 1.1 on his time as well as they come through. We still got Alex Ardoin all the way up front and up top. His best time is going to be super hard to be bested here. But here comes Wilson Fernandez, a little bit of wiggle here. See, he's going to have Brian Katz right behind him. Ricky Scott is racing with us as well. So now we got 26 drivers. Here comes Wilson Fernandez up to P5 in that Maca. Mohammed Irfan 1.8 up. Last lap was a 140.3 as he works his way through here as well. He's about to cross the line. This is Slalom P4 there, ladies and gentlemen. Ricky Scott up 6 tenths on his time. As he comes through, we're going to have to keep an eye on him as he works his way around. Jade Russell sitting P20. 5.7 off the pace here in that beautiful Porsche. as he works his way around the bend here and onto the back straight. I want to say welcome to all the viewers, both Twitch and YouTube. Huge shout out to you guys for coming in, watching. It is truly an honor to have you guys all here. If there's a driver that you'd like to see on the track doing their qualifying session, you guys just let me know and we will definitely showcase them for you as well, ladies and gentlemen. As we see here, and we go through here, Jade Russell up 5/10 here. He's in turns 1, 2, and 3. Definitely finding a lot of pace into that turn 1. He's definitely doing what he can here. Let's take a look. Who else has not set a lap time? Let's see, we've got Luke has yet to set a lap time. He's working his way through the grid. Jonathan Biscotto, he's sitting in the pits, and Farmer is sitting in the pits. Right now, Brian Katz up 1.7 seconds in that white Porsche 992 here. For those that do not know, he is a VR driver. He races all in VR. So he's definitely trying to make up some lap times as Alex Arduin goes super wide there. Brian Katz slipping right by there. He's going to have Mohammed Irfan right behind him. He manages to reel the time in. So hopefully with being 9.1 off the pace, Brian Katz can find a little bit of time to move up the grid so far as Irfan goes to P2. He's 4/10 off the pace of Alex Arduin. Alex Arduin trying to set even more time. Ricky Scott being P6, 1.4 on his pace here. Stefan Buckley saying, what's up? Well, Mr. Buckley, what's going on? A lot of things are going on. And we got Buckley not only in the Twitch chat, but we also have him in the YouTube chat as well. Welcome. Axia is my hero. Thank you very much. And hey, Buckley, because you're new to the stream, we also have our good friend Mr. Azraf Asmi here with us from
Hello.
Singapore, in the stream and in the commentator's booth.
Hello, everybody.
So, Mr. Azraf, what is there a car here? Is there anybody that you're seeing that's really picking up strong pace here around the track here? We see a few green spots around the track. We got Louis Bernard coming around. He is 5/10 up in that Lamborghini.
I mean, I have a feeling T Farmer is going to be rapid around here. Looking at his last season, I remember him being absolutely an alien around different tracks, especially think with this McLaren, which is extremely stable. I think it would be good around this track.
That is very true. As we watch him come around the bend here, let's take a look. He's going to be starting his flyer, so we're going to ride along board with this lap with him. We're going to jump along board in the helmet cam with him and see how he does. We also have a bunch of haze in the chat for you as well, Mr. Asby, as well as Mr. Buckley saying, yo, Singapore dude, in the chats as well. So it's awesome to see the much love with the community. A lot of the members here definitely showcasing a lot of love to everybody here. We're super happy to have such a diverse group here in this league. People from Poland, as Mr. Luke, the number 24, placed number 13 Ferrari, as well as Asby, who was working on his pilot's license, if I'm correct.
I have actually already gotten it, so.
Oh, he's already gotten it. Congratulations, good sir. Welcome, welcome. As we go through here comes Farmer through the final chicane here. Nice and tight with that McLaren. Nice and strong performance around here as he gets onto the back straight here. Curious to see where he's going to put himself against Alex Arduin, and here he comes onto the back straight. He's going to have Brian Katz right in front of him. See what he does when he crosses the line. P3, 4.443 off the pace of Alex Arduin. So that is definitely going to be an interesting one here as well. Jonathan Biscotto, a driver who has yet to set a time here. he's going to be super heavy on the brakes. He's going to allow Casey Bennett through. So he's going to probably, okay, so this is going to be his flyer as he gets going in that BMW. The BMW, a very neutral, balanced car here, has very good top end speed. I don't know how much of that's going to play into a factor in the start of the race, but it is going to be a massive one to say the least here. As we see Brian Katz trying to reel himself back into James Parks there in that P24 spot. Let's take a look up the grid and see who we have big movers here right now. Ryan Trent and Liam McNeil. Let's jump along board with Liam McNeil. Liam McNeil in the specially designed Alan Zoo Enduro livery for the Mercedes-Benz AMG. For those that do not know, last week the GTMR crew came out swinging with 5 teams to the 6 Hours of Valencia at Odyssey Racing League. We came out swinging in that Enduro League, wanting to showcase strong performance. And your man, Mr. Farmer, the P3 driver, finished the whole entire race. He actually did the whole 6-hour Enduro by himself. P4 was myself, Matt Byrne, and Christopher Shuffler. Chris Shuffler sitting there in P9. Mr. Byrne, he is not here today to race with us. And then as well as P9, Casey Bennett, Carter Bennett, and Alan Zhu bringing home the Ferrari there. And then P14 was Louis Benara Shuchen, who is not here with us, and Aiden Hasselbrock in P14. And then P15 rounding out the group, which is very strong, top 15 for the 5 teams. And then P15 was Liam McNeil, Zach Hendricks, and Brian Katz in a Porsche 992. This was the Mercedes-Benz that would have been ran if they had chosen the car, but they didn't. But it's awesome to see that Liam McNeil has chosen it to run it in the league. It is beautiful and a wonderful design, ladies and gentlemen. As we see Liam McNeil up to P16, about less than a tenth away from Ryan Trent to get that big bump up there to possibly get into that top 15 section for qualifying here as well. So let's take a look. We got Wilson Fernandez, Carter Bennett up 7/10 now. If he can hold this together here as he gets onto the back straight, catches a little bit of dirt there, losing 2. If he can hold this together, it could bump him up a good amount, and it does the P12 right behind Zach Hendricks here as well. Christopher rising to the occasion. I'm going to keep saying it every race. I'm going to make puns, and I apologize to this gentleman right here. As we see Chris rise a whole entire second. Ooh, he lost it right there, ladies and gentlemen. And Jonathan Biscotto, the BMW driver that we were originally talking about, he's now P22. He's up 1.3 as he comes into the final chicane and around the bed in the all-black carbon fibered BMW here. And 1.5 would boost him up to, I'm going to guess, it's going to be around that P10 area with Thomas Baker based on his provisional time that he had set already. Let's see what he does. Ooh, 2 spots right behind Thomas Baker. He's a whole 10th. He's an actual straight 10th right behind Thomas Baker here. And only 5/10 back from Mr. Zach Hendricks here in this qualifying session. As we see Alex Arduin still up top, but Mohamed Irfan coming out of the final chicane with 7 minutes left. He's got the 4/10 he needs. Can he find the extra 10th to leapfrog Alex? I don't think so. I think he's going to get super close right now. Oh, 0.080 on that time from Alex Arduin as well. Mr. Farmer only up a 10th right now on his time. Zach Hendricks up 3/10 in the yellow and red GTMR Porsche. Ooh, getting super close to the back wall there. As he crosses the line, slot himself P10. Bless you, good sir. As we also see, let's take a look. Liam McNeil's 2/10. Chris Rise, 5/10. In the midfield pack, Chris Rise working his magic the best that he can here as they go through some of these drivers. He's got 7/10 on his time. Now 8. He's gaining time. Hopefully he can hold it through.
I just realized Irfan is 800th of a second behind Arduin.
Yes, he is 800th of a second, and he possibly could find more time if he can link it up in the infield. For those that have not driven Indianapolis, a lot of the harder stuff on this track is the fact that it is, if you can link up some of the corners correctly, you can actually gain a lot more time. As we see Chris Rise about to cross the line, a whole second up on on his provisional time, and he slots himself P11. So there he slots in. So now, so here we have it, ladies and gentlemen. We have Alex R doing P1, Irfan P2 in that Lamborghini. Farmer and Wilson Fernandez in the two Maccas, P3 and 4. Aiden Hasselbrock P5. Carter Bennett slotting himself. Oh no, sorry, Casey Bennett slotting himself P6 with Ricky Scott P7. Shuffler leapfrogging himself to P8. So we're seeing a very diverse group, and then we're seeing the Ferrari family duo here, where we see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 Ferraris all in a row, and a lonely Mercedes-Benz disrupting them in the middle. That is definitely an interesting one. We have Alan Zhu as he crosses the line. He's going to be P24, bringing home the pack, and only 3/10 off the pace of Jade Russell there. So we're definitely seeing a lot of the drivers get a lot closer in this grid here. You can see the split, P8 all the way to P18. That's 10 spots, ladies and gentlemen, all within a second of each other. And the drivers are just getting faster and faster as they go here. Any big movers that you see, Asmi, that you're shocked by?
Um, I'm not really surprised by many of them. I'm more surprised how close Tifahama and Irfan are to Arduin right now.
Hmm.
If
Interesting. Interesting. As we watch a lot of these drivers go through here. We got 3 minutes and 4 seconds to play. 3 minutes, yeah, 3 minutes and 40 seconds left to play here. As we see, Farmer is P2 as well. He's going to dive back into the pits. Wilson Fernandez trying to find the 210s. He's trying to get closer uh, to these front runners here as well. As Stefan Buckley says in the chat, time to BOP the Ferrari with 100 kilos. uh, if only for the group of, yeah, it would be hilarious. But hey, look, it's not like we're seeing a massive Ferrari dominance in the front, Mr. Buckley. We're seeing a Porsche, a McLaren, a Lambo, a McLaren, and then a Ferrari. So the only fastest Ferrari we have is in P5. Yes, we have a bunch of other Ferraris, but it's not like we're seeing a massive punch. Hey, Buckley also says in the chat, I drove the Cup car today for the first time. The Cup car is honestly probably one of the best cars to drive. Uh, Definitely teaches you throttle control a lot more than what you're used to here in this game. Let's take a look. I know yesterday when we were racing GT4 and Porsche Cup cars, for those that are also interested, we do on Thursday nights have a Porsche Cup and GT4 split series. They run piggyback to us here in GT3. So on Thursday they run the same tracks as well, and it is truly awesome because it definitely gives you a nice build up here as we just see Joseph Germain here in the number 7 Ferrari with the Mexican colors here as he comes around a few bends. A little bit of a snappy drive here out of him. Let's take a look and see what the number 7 car can do. He's up 2/10. Can he find more in the final chicane? Heavy in the braking, and around the bend he goes. He's lost a little bit of time. 1 minute left to play. Let's see what these guys can do. Can he find more? Does not. We're going to jump along board with Mr. Luke here as he comes through, or aka Mr. Cagnes as he comes onto the back straight. See what he can do. He improves just a little bit, still 4/10 off the pace of Bruce Hopkins. As we see Mr. Farmer, he's up 1/10, lost it a little bit. He needs to find as much as he possibly can to make it stick here on the inside of this track. All right there, ladies and gentlemen. Qualifying is over. The drivers will try to finish their lap. Farmer is going to be backing out of it there on the track. Ricky Scott, 2/10 up. I apologize, ladies and gentlemen, as he comes through the bend here. Can he set something up here? And thank you for the follow, Mr. URT Enzo Rica. I hope I said that correctly. Thank you for the follow. Thank you so much for the follow. As we watch Ricky Scott coming around the bend, he is not from hit based on the Delta. He's not up on his time as he comes around the final corner. Keep an eye on that as well. We have Joshua Piask up 4/10 as he goes through here.
Oh, Aiden Hasselbrook loses it.
Take a look. Ooh, P5 for Aiden Hasselbrock. Let's see, we have Joshua Piask up a 10th in the Ferrari. Here he goes through as he crosses the line. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Joshua Piask, P15. And Alex Arduin takes pole with Mr. Farmer in P2 as well, ladies and gentlemen. So there you have it. That is what a wonderful qualifying session that we have here. Alex Arduin P1, Farmer 2, Mr. Irfan 3, Mr. Wilson Fernandez 4, Aiden Hasselbrock 5, Casey Bennett 6. We have Ricky Scott 7, Shuffler 8, Louis Bernard 9, and Mr. Hendricks 10. And now it is an 8 a.m. race, and the track is cold. Cagnes says in the chat, not last. That's positive. That is very true here. Now, as we usually do here, we are going to go down the grid and take a look at everybody. Let's just jump back out of here. We're going to switch cars here, ladies and gentlemen. Let's jump up by Alex. Hey, there we are. We're going to jump into Alex's car and slide right out here and do the amazing track walk as we go. And there you have it. Alex Arduin in the Caterpillar Porsche with Mr. Farmer in the Macca. All black Macca with Muhammad Irfan P3, Wilson Fernandez P4, Aiden Hasselbrock P5, Casey Bennett P6, Ricky Scott P7, Christopher Shuffler P8 with Louis Banana in P9, Zach Hendricks P10, Mr. Baker P11, Pescado P12, Carter Bennett P13, Germain in P14, Joshua Piask P15, Sean New in the Enduroed Ferrari P16, Liam McNeil P17, Ryan Trent P18, Bruce Hopkins 19, Cagnes in P20, Nort 21 in that beautiful yellow mellow car. Then we have 22, Mr. Russell with Alan Zoo 23, James Parks 24, Brian Katz P25, and Mr. Rise in last place in P26. He disqualified himself to finish in the back of the pack, which is illegal in GTMR. So we'll be having a talk with him later in the series. But as we wait for 2 minutes to go through here in this race. So we'll definitely be keeping an eye on that and seeing how everything goes, ladies and gentlemen. Now, Asby, Is there a driver on the track that you are definitely going to be watching for to see how well they do?
I mean, looking at how close the top three are, I think the pressure is going to get to at least one of them.
Yeah.
So I have a feeling someone is going to break. So I'm rooting for one of the top three.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, one of them's going to have to break. We know Alex Ardoin is super strong. Farmer coming off that Enduro is super strong. But Irfan, the winner of, he won the second race. Yeah, he won the second race, lost out on the first race, could have had a chance for a victory there. So Irfan's trying to bring it back here in this race, trying to win something. It's definitely going to be an interesting one to say the least. I'm very curious on how well this mid-pack field is going to be. You have Carter Bennett, P13. He was looking super strong. You know what I mean? He supposedly says he's never raced this track before, but he's managed to bring it back in and showcase uh, a lot of pace of performance. Mr. Buckley says in the chat, T1 Pandemonium. Yes, it is. Turn 1 Pandemonium is definitely going to be something that we're all going to have to be keeping an eye on for as well. Louis Benara could make a very big splash and showcase in performance. Ryan Trent, a driver we saw battling it out all the time in that's P18 right now in that white Ferrari. He could be showcasing a very strong performance. The track is cold. It's optimum. It's 8 a.m. in Indianapolis, so anything is possible here in this race. We're going to be watching as these drivers get rolling here in a short second. We're going to wait for when the green light goes out. This is definitely going to be an interesting one. Now, Asmi, is there a driver towards the back of the grid that you think that could possibly make big moves here and work their way up?
Mm, I I'm really not sure about the back of the pack, but looking at how close uh the Ferraris are,
Yeah,
maybe maybe they have a chance of beating each other.
yeah, that's true. Well, hopefully the team Ferrari here in this race as it starts with Carter Bennett, the head Ferrari in this Ferrari pack between him, Joseph, then you have Joshua Pias, then you have Sean New, then you have randomly Liam McNeil in this middle of this pack with Ryan Trent, Bruce Hopkins, and then you have Cagness as well as David Nort, all in a jammed Ferrari pack here in that mid group between 13 and 21. Hopefully they all can work together, help each other out, move their way up the grid here in this during this race. But turn one is definitely going to be an interesting one to say the least. That is true. I just want to say a huge shout out to all the viewers that are watching both Twitch and YouTube. My name is Exia. I'm the league owner as well as commentator for GT3 Racing with a guest commentator, Mr. Azarif Asby. For those of you guys that listen that aren't that are definitely um, definitely not used to his voice. He is from Singapore. He is a driver that races with us. He hasn't had a chance due to work, so he decided to join me in the booth. It's truly awesome to have a lot of our members join me in the booth when they can. It definitely, you know, definitely shows the love and support that these guys have all for each other. As we watch Alex Ardoin warming up his brakes as he's coming around here. We have 1 hour to go in this race. It is 22 degrees Celsius on the track, ambient, and it is optimum, and it is going to get going, ladies and gentlemen. The drivers lining up side by side. Let's see what they can do here as we wait for the green flag.
I have a feeling they're going to take it easy into turn one, especially uh looking at how turn one being a big breaking point.
It's going to be an interesting one as well. Mr. Buckley in the YouTube chat saying, let's go, Bruce. Definitely let's go, Mr. Hopkins. as well as everybody else in GT and Meister Racing. As the calm before the storm here, ladies and gentlemen. Let's ride along board. Let's see what Helicam's like. I'm not a huge fan of Helicam. All right, let's go back to the action. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. As we wait for the green, here we go. As we watch the Ferrari of Aiden taking a look on the inside. Farmer squeezing down on Alex. Irfan taking a look as we go 3 wide, sometimes 4 as they come down into turn 1. Heavy in the braking zone. Louis Bonara. Oh, Farmer going super wide, having to check out. Here they go through the grid. Oh, let's see if there's any issues as they come through. Louis Bernard, Christopher Shuffler, Bernard getting the work on the inside. Ooh, Sean New getting a little swirly. Liam McNeil closing the door a little bit on Joshua Piask in the back half of the grid as they work their way through cycles through turn 1. Bruce Hopkins losing it out a little bit there as James Parks coming through. We see Christopher Rise. Looks like he had a little bit of a possible issue. He's going to go right back into the pits there as he goes through. Christopher Rise calling it a day there as we watch the drivers work their way through. We're going to slide our way back up the grid. Here comes Alex R. doing. He has separated himself from Farmer. Farmer nose to tail. He's going to have Irfan right behind him. Wilson Fernandez is going to have Ada Hasselbrock all over the back end of Casey Bennett in the nose-to-tail action here as they work their way through the grid as they come onto the back straight up to the final chicane, heavy on the braking zone. Ooh, Aiden getting a beautiful run as we work our way down the grid here. Ooh, Shuffler makes it stick. Ooh, Ricky Scott trying to stick the nose where the car can't fit here in Indianapolis. Ricky Scott squeezing the door on Shuffler. Shuffler getting a better run. Here comes Hendricks. Ooh, Ricky Scott's back end steps out on him. Here comes Hendricks in the Porsche, followed by Jonathan Biscotto here. Ooh, you see a little bit of a swerve down the back end with Farmer and Arduin. Oh, Biscotto's going to try to make it 3 wide down into turn 1. Will it stick? Hendricks closes the door. Biscotto sends it up on the inside. Shuffler gets a wheel tap. Oh, they have to check up as they come down into turn 1. Oh, here you see Thomas Baker taking a look on the inside. Hendricks now on the back end of Ricky Scott. Ricky Scott trying to make it stick. Oh, Joseph Germain going super late on the brakes into the grass here. They come around the bend here. Yes, that's Rise Buckley in the pits there. Something must have happened to him down into turn 1. He was the driver that disqualified himself to start in the back of the pack here as Hendricks trying to take the battle to Ricky Scott, with with Jonathan Biscotto and Shuffler here in the battle. As you can see, Carter Bennett taking a look up on the inside of what looks to be Thomas Baker. Thomas Baker holding it off as much as possible here with a charging Ferrari. With that Ferrari of Carter Bennett with Liam McNeil, Ryan Trent, as well as Joshua Piaz. So this battle down the grid is developing greatly with the separation. Oh, as Mr. Hendricks takes a look on the inside, you can see him up in the front there with Jonathan Biscotto. He's going to cover the brakes and watch on the inside. Ooh, everybody streaming in. Liam McNeil now on the inside. Oh, Liam McNeil's going to try to make... Oh, Liam, that was definitely very questionable. Very... As we see Alex R. doing with Farmer as well. Here they go through, ladies and gentlemen, as they work their way around here. Farmer, then Irfan, then Wilson Fernandez, then we have Aiden Hasselbrock. So far, this race here has been nothing but crazy. What's your thoughts on it so far, Asmi?
The grid has been separated. There's a lot of different trains. The top being still a fight waiting to happen. Still very close to each other, trailing each other very closely, but
no, that is very... No, 100% agree with you. It is very close in these battles here. I know Liam McNeil feels really bad about the rear end tap as the breakout, but here you see Casey Bennett there in the 918 Porsche here in P6, the Dyno Porsche here trying to make something happen in this race as they work their way through. Let's take a look here as we see Louis Bernard trying to reel them in as well. Let's jump back down. Here's Shuffler, Ricky Scott, Piscato, all separated themselves. Zach Hendricks as well. Joshua Piast getting a little bit of that win there after that rear tap there as Jermaine, Liam McNeil, and them all down on the inside there as they work their way down the grid here. So we see Liam McNeil, Alan Zoo, Ryan Trent here. We see Carter Bennett and looks to be Mr. Cagnes in front of him with Bruce Hopkins. So right now, Bruce Hopkins with a lot of damage, which seems to be on the front with Luke, and looks to be as well as Carter Bennett with rear end damage. So these three Ferraris are going to try everything that they possibly can to work their way up with Thomas Baker. Thomas being the one that got the biggest shunt of them all here in this grid, as we see also what looks to be James Parks with a lot of damage in that Macca right in the background as they come through. Honestly, the viewers, let us know what your thoughts are in this race. If there's a driver that you want to see, let us know. We'll switch over to them as much as possible. Carter Bennett sends it up on the inside. Oh, Cagnes is going to cover off. Carter's going to have to check out. Oh, the Red Bull fan of Carter Bennett, his huge fanatic of Max Verstappen, trying to harness the inner Stafford that he can here in this race. Carter Bennett trying to make everything happen here, trying to get past Cagnes here as he comes around on the infield section. Ooh, Cagnes gets a bit of a, Carter gets a bit of a run on him. Will Cagnes, nope, he checks out. Carter hits the brakes, lets him stream by. Here goes Thomas Baker. Carter Bennett definitely probably trying to refocus on what he needs to do. Carter Bennett definitely putting his car in spots, very tight spots that he needs to go. We'll slide right back up board in the front of the pack here as we see Alex Ardoin. Farmer definitely not separated himself from Alex Ardoin here with the back end of Irfan here on the back end as well. Wilson Fernandez 3.1 seconds off the pace of Irfan here. So there's a little bit of a gap separation there. Aiden Hasselbrock trying to reel him in as much as possible as well. Slot our way down to Liam McNeil. Let's take a look at Liam McNeil on Jade Russell, I apologize. The GTMR Mercedes. Heavy on the brakes. Question is, how much damage does he have to serve here? Heavy on the brakes. Let's see what they do. Here they go around the bend. Nice and tight there by the GTMR Mercedes-Benz. For those that would like to join us, definitely join us on SimGrid. Sorry, on SimGrid, we definitely have a wonderful series for everybody to race, as well as we also have Xbox as well as PC. For those that would like to participate, definitely join us. The SimGrid link will be posted up in the chat for both YouTube and Twitch as well, for those that would like to participate and be a part of it. Let's take a look here. What else? Any big movers that you can see so far here? As
No. I can't pronounce his name. Not right?
Oh, David Nort. That's right, David Nort here.
He's on the timing sheet. It says he's. Oh, just now you said he was 5/10 behind the next driver, but now it updated to 1 second. Oh,
that's Alan Zhu locking up the brakes really badly. Definitely not knowing that David was going to be braking a little bit earlier into turn one. What a shame there. As we see Ryan Trent up to P16. He's going to slide up there as well. As we see
looks
Mr.
like Carter's getting really close to Paul Kropek. I don't know.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. That's Cagnes. He definitely, yeah, he definitely was wanting me to try to punish his name. Is Alan Zeus trying to hold off Cagnes after that damage to not right. Now here comes Carter Bennett trying to make a masterclass move. Oh, do you try to make it stick on the inside? Cagnes is going to be holding off. Thomas Baker there still in the background Alan Zhu. Ooh, Cagney not giving him the space. He's making him work for it. Down into the middle section through the S's. Cagney definitely holding his line as Carter Bennett still trying to make everything stick and work here. Here they come through here. As Alan Zhu goes wide, manages to bring it back on the track without getting in the way. Now Carter Bennett's going to have the ideal line as they come through onto the turn one here. In Indianapolis, heavy on the braking. Cagney goes a little bit heavy on the braking as well. As you can see, Thomas Baker's car checks up. Carter power sliding. Man, it's beautiful save by Carter Bennett. Now that's going to allow Cagney to get a better run. Carter Bennett having a lot of issues with that rear aero. You can see the back end of that Ferrari stepping out.
I mean, he's still very close to it, to
Thomas
Cagney
Baker.
at the moment.
Thomas Baker looking on the inside. Cagney closed the door. Carter hits the brakes. Can Cagney hold off Carter Bennett? He's going to have to check it. There goes Thomas Baker right through. This battle for P19 is developing like no other between the four drivers of Cagney, Case Carter, Thomas Baker, and Alan Zhu in the background here as we're going to slide a little bit more above in the front of the pack. I want you to keep an eye on that battle for me. We're going to slot up here with Louis Benara, Ricky Scott, and Christopher Shuffler here in this P7 as Ricky Scott now takes a look in the inside of Louis Benara here. Heavy on the braking zone. Ricky Scott takes a very shallow line. Louis Benara is going to make it stick around the outside. Ember in the chat saying Farmer, Farmer. Yes, that's right. Farmer is P2, 5/10 off the pace of Alex Arduin as he's trying to chase down Alex Arduin, who has the fastest lap here in this race. But Ricky Scott trying to make something stick. Mr. Hendricks wall taps the front straight here at Indianapolis. Ricky Scott takes a look on the inside. Is he going to try to go for the super late braking? He is going to send it. Louis is going to give him the space here and allow Ricky Scott through. But the question is can Ricky Scott hold Louis Benara back? Louis Benara has shown that he has the pace to take it to Ricky Scott here. And that's going to allow Shuffler to get a very, very, very large separation between each two here in this race. So that's definitely going to be an interesting one to say the least as well. Louis Benara's back end steps out here. We have 47 minutes left to play, and we have battles all down the track here. As we
Definitely. Looks like James Buck and Norite has pitted. So very different strategies. Looks like they are pitting early.
Well, I know Notright had a lot of that damage that came from the rear end of Alan Zhu, so he's probably going to try to go for the long haul of that 47-minute. Now, that could play out, especially when you get battles where drivers want to battle each other out. You know what I mean? They sometimes will they become slower when they're racing because they're trying to be more precise with a lot more precise with their braking, a lot more precise with the covering up to making sure that there's no issues or anything else like that. But right now, Thomas Baker here all the way back into P20, getting a battle with Carter Bennett here. Carter Bennett nose to tail, definitely trying to make something stick here. You can see Carter Bennett wants to try to make a move on Thomas Baker. Down into the, you can see how close these guys are getting here in this race. Let's take a look here, ladies and gentlemen. You can see that Ferrari in the background view of him, as well as you can see it out of Cagney's car. But you can see, can that Ferrari reel him in the way they want it to? Here, let's take a look at Carter Bennett's car on the inside view.
So Carter going for the inside, and it's backing out again.
What a beautiful run here with the pit window open. These guys are definitely pushing themselves to the limit, everybody. And let's take a look here. He's going to get a little bit of squirrel. He's going to sit nose to tail with him. Now let's slide up above with Mr. Germain. He's going to have Joshua Piast. Joshua Piast last night won our GT4 series against Paul Borman, a well-known teammate of his and a driver that he raced against within America's
looks like
race.
Baker lost it.
Where?
Baker has lost it. He went into the wall. Down on the back straight.
So we see a yellow. Oh, Parks there. We got Parks here. He's going to be pulling off the track, waiting for everybody to come around. Ooh, James Parks. That is not what he wants to see here at Indianapolis, especially with that beautiful Castrol McLaren. What a shame there for Mr. Parks. Losing it out there a little bit in that battle. For those that do not know, we do pay out points for the top 30 drivers. So there is a chance of him being able to make up some sort of points here. As we see Carter Bennett, he's going to try to take a look on the inside. Baker dives into the pits. Carter sends it deep. Cagney manages to hold off the Ferrari driver of Carter Bennett. But is Carter Bennett going to get the run on the inside? He does. Beautiful line there as well. Here they go through. Cagney tries to take the fight back. You can see you catch the brakes a little bit. Carter still having a lot of that rear end damage. So some of the back marker drivers diving into the pits early. Definitely trying to save up on their tires. Ooh, Cagney loses the back under braking and the back end steps out. Alan Zhu catching him there in that final chicane, that first chicane there. As we see Germain and Joshua Piast battling it out. Let's jump along board with Jonathan Moscato, Zach Hendricks, and Louis Benara. Ooh, Hendricks having to check up on the brakes. Louis Benara's car is definitely really squirrely, I have to say, in this race. It's almost like he's running. Ooh, Benara smacking that wall coming onto the back straight. I hope that's not a whole lot of damage.
Looks like Jermaine is going on making a move on PS
All right, let's take a
PS
look.
kick.
We see him in the background. Let's switch over. He switches back on the inside. Oh, masterclass. Oh, is he going to hold it, though? Joshua Piast. Oh, gets him back. What a beautiful move by Joshua Piast here. So we have massive battles in front. Oh, both tap. Ooh. Louis Benara and Jonathan Moscato having to get out of the way there and trying not to get involved in the other drivers there. As you can see, a lot of these drivers pushing the limits of the envelope before the pit window here as they are
Looks
racing.
like Baker has a stop and go.
Oh, it's probably speeding in the pit lane. What a shame there by Baker. As we see Farmer still 4/10 off the pace of Alex Arduin there. As we see Ricky Scott's now brought himself 9/10 from Christopher Shuffler here. We're going to jump along board this one, see where they're at. Here they come through as they approach the final chicane here in this race. Shuffler running a very strong pace, strong race here in that Ferrari. He had a beautiful run last night there in the Porsche Cup car here. As we watch Ricky Scott's Lamborghini here, trying everything it possibly can do to keep up. Now we're going to switch back over with Germain. You see Jonathan Moscato losing a little bit. Louis Benara getting past here. Okay, now can Mr. Joseph Germain do it again on Jonathan Moscato here? Look on the inside. He's going to take a look. Oh, Moscato takes a look. He's going to try to stick the nose in. Side by side they go. Piast still managing to hold off the driver. But Moscato in that BMW. Definitely not wanting to have a big separation here. Ooh, Piast get a little squirrely. But he covers the inside. Moscato now sends the nose up on the inside with the BMW. Super close. Ooh, heavy on the braking. Here they go around the bend. Ooh, Moscato catching a little bit of that dirt. What a shame right there here. Now let's take a jump right back aboard here with Ricky Scott. He's now on the back end of Shuffler. Mr. Farmer 3/10 back. You see Alex Arduin right there. Here, now we're going to slot right back here in this massive battle here. Nose to tail, Germain definitely getting a little squirrely. Ooh, catches a lot of the dirt. Moscato's going to get a run. He's going to allow Moscato through. He knows he can't battle it out. Jermaine's car getting a little twitchy here in this stream. Ooh, let's see. We got, looks like Piastri's going to dive into the pits there with his Ferrari. So he's gonna dive in. He's gonna be the first of the front pack guys to dive into the pits. Let's take a look. We're gonna ride along board Ricky Scott here with Christopher Shuffler. This is gonna be a battle for P7 in this race. Ricky Scott trying to line himself up for these corners. Nose to tail with Christopher Shuffler here in this battle.
It's like Carter was looking at the overtake opportunity, overtaking Bruce Hopkins.
Look, let's jump back down here with them. Ooh, Bruce and Jade Russell. Russell catching a little bit of the dirt, bounce out. Russell covers the inside. Carter. Ooh, Carter tried turning in a little bit too early, thinking that Russell wasn't going to park it there. But Russell manages to make it stick and parks it right there, making Carter work his magic here as they come around this bend. So far for the viewers, how are you loving this battle so far? I think it's honestly going wonderful here. We've had a few hiccups here on track, but all in all, it has gone wonderful. Carter Bennett going for a very shallow line here into this turn. Probably throwing Jade Russell off because Jade Russell can't see all the way over there. Ooh, you see Carter Bennett's car getting a little bit steppy there. But we're going to jump along board here. Shuffler covers the inside. Ricky Scott having to check out of turn one here. As we see Shuffler still now separating himself from Ricky Scott, trying everything he possibly can. We're almost at the halfway mark, ladies and gentlemen. We have 8 minutes remaining to go. Down into the braking zone. Here goes Ricky Scott. He's taking a look on the inside. Looks like Carter Bennett did get past Jade Russell there and manages to separate himself. That battle between Jonathan Moscato and Joseph Germain, and as well as Liam McNeil, is spicing up to be a feisty one. We're going to jump down there real quick in a second here. Let's take a look. Ooh, four-way battle, nose to tail. We've got Lamborghini, BMW, Ferrari, Mercedes, all the way through here in this 9 through 12, actually 9 through 13 spot here, or 10 through 13 here as they go heavy into the braking. Moscato trying to make it stick. Liam McNeil. We take a look here. Let's just jump up on board here. Ooh, Ricky Scott making it around the outside with the back marker of Nort right there. Probably helping him out here onto the back straight here. Blue flag driver, a little bit of a tap out of a wall. Ricky Scott's going to try to get the toe as much as possible as he got past Christopher Shuffler. Oh, James Parks, hello gang, had to call it quits. What a shame there, James. What a shame. We would have loved to have seen you continue racing with us. Shuffler takes a deep break there to try to catch up to Ricky Scott into turn one, so he's going to have to focus and dig deep there to try to catch up to Ricky Scott, as Ricky Scott is now P7. Hopefully Brian Katz can help him out here in this race. But let's jump along down board here as Jonathan Moscato, Joseph Germain, Liam McNeil here as this develops here. You see Joseph Germain getting a run up on the BMW here, heavy into the braking zone. That Ferrari definitely has a very bouncy suspension, Asby, I have to say. It's almost like he's running a very stiff rotating suspension here in this race.
I mean, I'm not really a setup person, so uh, not really sure what's the difference between a hard, what difference it makes on a hard suspension and a soft suspension. So you don't really ask me on that, but
So a stiffer suspension is going to give you less roll, but it's going to make the car a lot more twitchier. While if you have a softer suspension, you're going to have a lot more roll. It's going to want to dig into the corners. So it's just more personal preference as we watch these drivers come through here. Up to the final chicane. We had a little bit of a yellow. Seems like we're clear here. Shuffler still chasing down Ricky Scott. As we see 1 and 2 now still battling it out. We're going to switch along board here. Farmer still nose to tail with Alex Arduin, not giving that place up as much as Arduin is still trying to make things work. As we see Mr. James Parks in the chat saying, hey, Willie, hey, stuff on in the Twitch chat as well, as we watch everybody come through here as Farmer now trying to make everything happen, and he's trying to, he wants it to stick here, but we got Wilson Fernandez now 1.7 off the pace of Mohammed Irfan. Irfan losing a lot of the pace. I'm curious if Irfan has a lot of damage on that Lamborghini, or is it just that his tires are getting degraded very fast? And it looks to be that his tires are not degrading as fast. But let's slide back down here and take a look at this battle between Jonathan Biscotto, Germain, and Liam McNeil. McNeil now taking a look on the inside here as he checks up right behind the Ferrari. Can he get a beautiful run on these drivers as he comes out of the corner? He's going to take a look on the outside. As we see, oh, he switchbacks. Let's see what Liam McNeil can do down on the heavy braking zone. Ooh, he has to check out of it. Mr. Germain's going to hold him off. Ooh, he was not feeling committed there in that. As we see Louis Benara has left the session. Curious on what happened there with Louis Benara. Mr. Farmer dropping back 7/10 to Alex Arduin here in this race. So now we're down to 21 drivers so far in this race here. We started with 26 here. Indianapolis can be a very tough and tight race as we see Liam McNeil diving into the pits. Joseph Germain and Jonathan Biscotto. This is going to be the battle that we're going to need to be watching here as Joseph Germain takes a look on the inside. Thank you for all the viewers that have stayed and watched with us. Truly an honor to have you guys all here participating and watching with us as Joseph Germain makes it stick with Jonathan Biscotto. But we've seen that BMW showcase a lot of performance. Carter Bennett is in the pits as well for a strong top 20 finish here. 32 minutes left to go. So far, Asmi, what is your thoughts on this race and how everything has developed here throughout this whole entire grid?
I mean, this race has a lot of people who are on very similar levels. Like Arduin and Farmer, Jermaine and Boscato, New and Hopkins.
As we see Irfan diving into the pits, he is the first front pack driver, actual front pack driver to actually dive into the pits. So he's actually chosen the halfway mark. The question is how much is that going to help him in this battle between the other front two? We saw that he won Paul Ricard, lost out at Donington Park, so that's definitely going to be an interesting one to say the least. As we see Joseph Germain separating himself from Jonathan Biscotto. Biscotto dives into the pits, the BMW driver. He is going to try the undercut strategy here as we jump up into the front of the grid. Mr. Farmer trying to take the battle to Alex Arduin as we have one more battle here in the Cagness, as well as Jonathan Piascar going to be battling out, and Mr. Bruce Hopkins, the driver that Stefan Buckley was talking about. He is going to be trying to take the fight here to, oh, actually it looks like one of the drivers, someone driving, oh, yep, Sean New dove into the pits. Oh, man, they always do that to me. Right around pits, I always think they're battling and then they dive into the pits. With 31 minutes left to play, Alex Arduin trying to win it for that Porsche USA team car. As, Cagness with a drive-through. What a shame there. Cagness with a drive-through. He is not going to be super happy about that one. So he's going to have to serve that, but he will score a lot of strong points here in this race, finishing being about 20th place here. So we see Farmer trying everything he can. Now the question is I'm very curious, is how is the tire deg on that Porsche in this race? That Porsche definitely has a tendency of chewing up the tire deg. The question is, when is it going to drop off and allow Farmer to take that fight to him?
That was exactly what I was thinking. Now it's just a battle of who's going to dive into the pits first, I think.
That is true there as well. We saw Irfan dive into the pits first. Now the question is, now we have Joseph Germain. He's going to dive into the pits. We see a yellow on the track. Looks like it is clear. Let's take a look. Zoo is in the pits. Carter's in the pits. So right now, Irfan's out of the pits with Germain and Russell. Irfan's P11. Ooh, they both dive in the pits. They both leapfrog Cagnus's drive-through. Wow, what a beautiful run by them. Oh,
You say they're both on
Wilson,
the same strategy, had
yeah, Wilson
similar
Fernandez.
thinkings.
Oh, we'll see who has to dive. Oh, Wilson Fernandez in the pits as well here with this battle. That's going to allow Aiden Hasselbrock up in the front. That's going to put him in clean air to run as fast as possible here in this race.
Maybe Hasselhoff is thinking of the overcut strategy,
He could,
and
I
yeah,
mean,
maybe Adwin is going for the undercut.
that is
Be one of
true as well. We also have Farmer dive into the pits with him, as well as Wilson Fernandez. Ricky Scott is in the pits, so Bennett, Casey Bennett, Mr. Scheffler stayed out as well. So this is going to be an interesting strategy with Casey Bennett staying out and Mr. Shuffler staying out as well here. And there you go, ladies and gentlemen. The pit is done. Alex Arduin is rolling down the thing with Farmer, with Wilson Fernandez, where Ricky Scott, he is sitting there as well. Let's take a look. Seems to be another driver in front of the number 23.
It's Russell.
Russell. Okay, so Russell's
Oh,
gonna have a drive-through. Oh,
drive
what a
through.
shame there. So Alex Arduin separating himself. He's gonna get a little bit of a nice breather from. Ooh, Russell's gonna. Is he gonna allow Arduin through, or is this gonna be a battle for position? It shouldn't be, as Russell is P15. Arduin's gonna P5. He's gonna squeeze right past Russell and get going here. Russell's gonna have to serve his drive-through. But this may hold Farmer back up as we see Bruce Hopkins now in this fight. Hopkins P9. We still haven't yet to serve a pit. His pit strategy. So this battle is definitely growing as we see Shuffler is into the pits. He's going to be coming in. We'll be seeing that pit emblem here right very closely with Shuffler here in a second here. As we see Farmer now sending it on the inside, trying to chase down Alex Arduin here in this battle. But like what we were talking about, Sprightly in the chat. Welcome, Mr. Sprightly. How are you? How is work going? I hope all is well at work, as we see Zach Hendricks also diving into the pits in this race. Bruce Hopkins still haven't yet to pit as well. So right now, Aiden and Carter Bennett still racing it out. Still have yet to dive into the pits. Carter Bennett going to be staying in the pits, it looks to be. And Russell's going to have a drive-through here as well. So now Farmer's going to have to make up all that time. 1.7 seconds. Lost a lot in that pit rotation. So we see heavy on the brakes. Farmer's car going through here. Let's take a look. Any close battles do we have? We have Jonathan Moscato. Where is he? He's got Liam McNeil right in front of him. Liam McNeil managing to leapfrog Moscato in the pit rotation here. As they go through, I just want to say a huge shout out to all the viewers that are watching. Welcome, welcome, welcome. as they come through here and around the bend. We still have a yellow. That's going to be Brian Katz off the track there into turn 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I would say 6, but it looks like he jumped back into the pits here. It looks like he's probably going to be calling it a day with that. With that Porsche. And LaRock is in the chat saying, let's go. Welcome, LaRock. You are missing out on a wonderful battle as Aiden Hasselbrock has dove into the pits. Casey Bennett going for the super long strategy. He is staying out. 21 laps with 25 minutes left to go. 15 on the pit rotation. He is staying out. So this is definitely interesting. 2 drivers we have here as we going for the ultra long cut strategy.
But it looks like Casey is slightly losing his rear. I saw him sliding quite a few times going into the back straight.
All right, so Casey Bennett here, he is going to be ahead of Ricky Scott. Ricky Scott already serving his pit, but Casey Bennett is considered as P1 in this race. Oh, Aiden getting a 30-second stop go. That is going to hurt him so much here in this race. But Casey Bennett still looking strong, holding off everybody here in this race. Question is how long is he going to stay out? And he is back up on the straight. Hopefully he's possibly going to do a super long strat here in this race. Take a look here. Alex Arduin, so they all shuffled in. So usually it's a 30-second pit. Ooh, Ricky Scott going super late on the brakes, almost tapping the rear end of Casey Bennett. Ooh, that would have been a very, ooh, as we see. Let's see, Alex Arduin, he's going to be coming around the bend. It says +1 lap. Curious on what that means. Could be 1 lap behind, could not be. Ricky Scott going super late on the brakes. Ricky Scott driving super aggressive, and he does not really have anybody near him that's in a battle for contention. As we see,
Looks like
go ahead.
Looks like McNeil lost it in turn 1.
Ooh, Liam McNeil losing it in turn 1. That's going to mean he's going to fall back there, and he's going to still have Jonathan Moscato on the back end of him as we ride along board our provisional leader of Casey Bennett. So Aiden is going to be serving his 30-second stop go. So that's going to allow some of the drivers in the behind them to shuffle up forward. So it's going to be a 30-second that he's going to have to stop for his pit. Plus driving down that super long pit straight. Question is oh, is he? He's diving into the pits now. All right, so let's take a look. Alex Arduin is coming through. He is on the middle of the back straight. Casey Bennett is coming down the front. He's coming down pit lane right now. Sean New, he's going to get a big fat toe from Sean New in that Ferrari. This is going to help out Alex Arduin super late on the brakes. Here they come through into the S's here. Farmer's going to try to work his magic around Sean New as well. Sean's going to allow him through. Here they come, Arduin heavy on the brakes. When is Bennett's pit going to stop here? Let's take a look. When's it going to go green for Bennett? Here they come up to the final chicane.
It is going to be very close.
This possibly could have helped him out in the long run. Ooh, here they come onto the back straight. Bennett still has yet to be dropped.
I think it's going to come out behind Fernandez.
Oh, his car just got dropped, and he's out. Ooh, let's see.
It looks like it's coming out behind Fernandez.
Is that where you're calling it? Let's take a look. Ooh, Fernandez already leapfrogged him.
Actually, no, it is coming out after Bruce Hopkins.
Okay, so so he'll be coming out. Yeah, he will be coming out in the standings. He'll be behind Fernandez and ahead of Shuffler. But Shuffler's coming through. He's still in the pit lane. Here comes Shuffler. Shuffler on the back straight in that Joker-themed GTMR Ferrari. Let's take a look. Where is Casey Bennett? Here, he's now getting on the throttle. Yeah, Shuffler's going to leapfrog him there. And Shuffler actually leapfrogged Ricky Scott by 7.6 seconds by that undercut strategy. So Shuffler retaining P6, but Aiden Hasselbrock having to serve that 30-second stop go. Huge hit to him. He was all the way up there in that P5. I believe he was up, yeah, P5 there. Now he's down to P14. So Aiden Hasselbrock going to have to try to fight back and work his way up the grid here. As Jonathan Moscato still trying to work his way through Joseph Germain, as well as Jade Russell there in the middle of the corners. They're trying to get through this field here. As we see Jonathan, wow, Moscato sending it deep. Jade Russell now on the attack back here, the P18 driver and the P10. A little bit of an interesting battle there. Jade Russell should have just let him gone through the minute he went through as Joseph Germain falls from behind. Ooh, Joseph Germain falling back with Jonathan Moscato there. They're trying to work their way past the P18 driver of Jade Russell. Joseph Germain sending it on the inside. Can the Moscato get the switchback? Side by side, they go through the S's. Ooh, super late on the braking. It seems like they're going to make it stick. Oh, a little bit of a
Looks like
switchback.
Hasselbrock is making its way, like catching up to PS Kick.
This is true there. Let's switch over with Jonathan. Aiden Hasselbrock did get his separation. He separated himself from that. Now he's going to have Ryan Trent here as well. Moscato covers the inside. He's gonna have the more better run out of the hole there. Now Shuffler still having a strong pace here with 7 seconds back from Casey Bennett. As they come through heavy on the brakes. Moscato goes. Now Joshua Pias can use this to a very strong finish for him as well, where he can utilize Aiden Hasselbrock to help open up doors for him throughout this whole entire competition. Take a look. Farmer still 7/10 back from Alex Arduin as this battle is developing, and now we have a battle here with 17 minutes left to play between the P9 and P10 driver that are nose to tail here in this race. So far, the viewers in the chat, how is the race so far? What are you guys thinking? Is there a driver that you want to see? Oh, both drivers, Joshua Moscato and Jermaine, both overshooting it there in that final chicane with Liam McNeil trying to chase him down. 4.3 off the pace here in this race. Let's take a look here as we see Farmer and Alex are doing nose to tail. They're going to have what looks to be Joshua Piask in front of them here, so they're going to have to work their way through the grid there. As LaRock says in the chat, we need AMG top 10. Go faster, Liam. Liam is trying his hardest. He's 3.9. He was 4.3. He is working his way back up the grid as we see Aiden Hasselbrock. Now Ryan Trent. Aiden having to serve a 30-second stop go on top of his pit. Aiden is working his magic as well, trying to work his way up the grid here in P13. He's going to have the P12 driver in front of him, the 666 Ferrari. As they come through, let's see what will Aiden be making a move on Ryan Trent. You can see he's taking a look on the inside. He's setting himself up, but there's the leaders, ladies and gentlemen, right behind them. Catch a little bit of the dirt there in that bend. It's interesting to see how the driving of Aiden, as Aiden just swings it very well as he slides on right past Ryan Trent as if nothing ever happened here in this race, heavily in the braking zone. Ryan Trent trying to check up right behind him as much as possible. I know there's one driver in the chat right now that's wishing that they were racing with him, and that is Mr. LaRock. I know he would love to have been racing here with all of these guys. Liam McNeil, 3.1 seconds. Liam McNeil is reeling in for that top 10. So, LaRock, there is a chance that he may be in that top 10. Ooh, Ryan Trent going super wide. Jade Russell's going to finally allow them to sneak by here and go. Hopefully Jade Russell doesn't impede on this battle here, as this is not for him, as these two guys, 9A and 10, have been battling it all race. Ooh, you see Liam right there in the background. Ooh, a little bit of a twitchiness out of the... Here they go through Jade Wilson. Ooh, a little bit of a snappy. Looks like there's a little bit of a connection thing with Mr. Germain here. Onto the back straight they go. Liam McNeil, now 2.7. You can see him in the background. The Mercedes driver in the hunt. Ooh. Jade Russell trying not to rear end the Ferrari as the Ferrari messed up on the braking zone. As Jermaine Ambascato now trying everything that they possibly can in the battle that they have. And now Liam McNeil 2.9. Liam McNeil digging deep. Wilson Fernandez on Irfan. We're going to slide aboard this one. Where is he? Wilson Fernandez on Irfan now 4/10. This is a battle for a podium. Ooh, did they get the... Oh, I've never seen this before. Alex Arduin, Farmer, same fastest laps with a 135.890. Does this mean they both will get a point? Oh, I hope nobody breaks that. I hope nobody breaks that.
I thought that was a glitch. I thought just both of them.
So they both set the fastest lap of a 135.890. Wilson Fernandez having to check up on the brakes, almost rear-ending Irfan right there in that left-hander. But good thing that Wilson Fernandez turned the car out of it and did not rear-end him. Good driving by him. That's right, LaRock in the chat. There are two fastest laps in the race. Both did a 135.890. Right now, Alex Arduin is doing his last lap was a 136.192. The Farmers was a 136.005. So, even though Farmer is following behind him, he is still putting in faster laps trying to chase Alex Arduin down. So I'm curious with how the standings are going to be. If they're both going to get 1 point, I'm sure the game is going to give both a 1 point, considering the game is it's registered that way. But this is definitely going to be an interesting one to say the least, and how everybody is racing here. So right now they're going to have Aiden Hasselbrock in front of him. And what's nice is because Aiden's pace is so quick also, he's going to help kind of like, I guess you would say, open the door for these guys as they come around here with 11 minutes left to play. The track has actually gotten extremely warm to 27 degrees Celsius versus the 22. Trash Panda says, what are the odds of 1 and 2 having the exact same fastest lap bonkers? It is. Honestly, I didn't realize it because I know Asby was waiting for me to shut up for a second to talk. And I apologize by that, Asby. But I looked up in the corner and I'm like, why are they both purple? And then I was like, I have to check. And yep, look, the snake on the back straight to break the toe. Alex Ardua trying to make everything. Make it, oh, so horrible for him. Down the back straight into turn 1. You can definitely tell Farmer is losing it a little bit. But ladies and gentlemen, Joshua, Jermaine and Bascato still battling it out. Liam McNeil seems to be dropping a little bit of pace. That's going to be Jade Russell. And then now Aiden Hasselbrock, 1.93 behind Liam McNeil. So right now, Liam McNeil is trying to get past Jade Russell. Aiden's trying to get past McNeil. And right now, you have 1 and 2 coming into the midfield, and they're going to have to try to get past those 3 drivers. So this is definitely going to be very spicy to see what happens as they approach. Is Farmer going to use this to his advantage to take advantage on Ardoon here in this race? And the question is, if Farmer gets past, will Farmer reset pole? I mean, not pole, fastest lap here in this race. LaRock says, Farmer, let's go. Let's get a win for Canada Day. Oh, Ardoon loses the back end of it. Farmer on the inside now. Ardoon's going to have to cover. Farmer going to try the outside. Ardoon closes the door. Here they go onto the back straight. Farmer sends it up on the inside. Oh, door to door on the back straight they go. Ardoon can't do the snake anymore. Oh, Farmer's going to have the inside. There's a bit of a door slapper here. Ardoon's closing him down the inside into turn 1. Farmer's going to get it. Is he going to? Farmer's super late on the braking. Farmer goes super deep. Ardoon now with the switchback. Farmer having to check up. Ardoon. Farmer on the inside. Ardoon on the inside. Now they go through into the next turn. Farmer going to have to check up right behind him through turn 3. Here they go around the bend. Oh, you can see the back end of Ardoon's car breaking out as they work their way through. Farmer nose to tail with him as they fly through into this little hairpin piece before the middle straight of this track. Now Aiden Hasselbrock has caught the back end of Liam McNeil. Aiden's definitely going to want to have to try to squeeze right by. Possibly the reason why Farmer got through was the fact that they had to check up right behind Aiden Hasselbrock. Here comes Ardoon. He is trying everything he possibly can to keep the door closed of the 6-hour winner. Oh, Farmer in that McLaren is definitely looking super strong. He was a Honda driver. Now he's running the McLaren. Maybe he's harnessing his inner Ayrton Senna, the old McLaren Honda days. Oh, Liam McNeil sets it up on the inside of Jade Russell. Now Aiden Hasselbrock on the outside. Liam McNeil going to cover the inside. Here comes Alex Ardoon. He's going to get a 3-car tow down the back straight. Alex Ardoon. Now Aiden's going to move out of the way. Liam McNeil, is he going to move out of the way? He's going to cover the inside. Oh, is Alex Ardoon? Okay, he switches back. Alex Ardoon said, oh, Aiden covers over. Cuts off Farmer. Now moves out of the way. Now Farmer's going to have to squeeze right through. He makes it stick. Oh, what a beautiful. We got to rewatch that, ladies and gentlemen, down into turn 1. We're going to jump back aboard here on the replay. Let's take a look on the inside of Farmer's car on the replay.
We're here updating you guys on the race. Looks like Jermaine is still nose to tail on Biscato at the moment. McNeil is still on the tail of Trent at the moment.
Oh, well, we boarded. Hey, there we are. And you see Alex Ardoon now getting past Jade Russell. Well, you don't see that very often, do you? So now Farmer through. Oh, Aiden losing the back end with Jade Russell as this battle is starting to develop. That's right, Liam McNeil, like you said, you can see him in the background there. trying everything he can to chase down Aiden Hasselbrock here in this fight here. But Jade Wilson is right there. Wow, this is definitely a battle that is definitely building up as we watch the drivers come through onto the back straight. Here they go. As Jade Russell moves out of the way, that's going to allow Aiden Hasselbrock through. Now Liam McNeil's going to have to work his way through. Liam McNeil coming in P12 possibly here in this race as Jade Russell takes the apex of that corner as they work their way around the Magic. Now let's see, LaRock, I know you said you wanted Farmer to win, but I don't know. It's in America. I don't know if Farmer's going to win. He's going to have to dig deep for 4 minutes and 50 seconds left in this race to see what happens.
No, it's just a sprint to the end.
It is just a sprint to the end, as has been said, yes. Let's take a look. Take a look at Joseph Germain and Boscato. You can see there's a little bit of a separation there. Now let's take a look. Where is Hendricks? Hendricks coming through onto the front straight. So there's a good separation between P9 and Ricky Scott managing to dig deep on Christopher Shuffler. He's only 3.3 seconds back with 4 minutes left to play. He's going to have to dig a lot harder there if he wants to catch him. Ooh, as he catches a little bit of the dirt in the curve. There, Shuffler managing to separate himself. Liam McNeil getting past Jade Russell now onto the front straight. Ooh, nose to tail. Here comes the leaders. They're approaching another set of another back marker group here. So Alex Arduin going to have to try everything he can to make it stick here in this race. He's going to have the 185 car, 188 car of Alan Zhu in front of him in that Porsche, as well as, is that Bruce Hopkins? I think. Ooh, here comes Farmer down into the hairpin. Oh no, it's Joseph
Russell with the defensive masterclass. If only I was for position. It was for position.
Nice there for Jade Russell. As we see, okay, let's take a look. All right, so now they approach. Now they're going to have this battle that's been going on the whole entire race between Joseph Germain as well as Jonathan Boscato in front of them. So hopefully Joseph Germain can utilize this to help him out in this fight. But this is just Russell with a defensive masterclass, if only if it was for position on the Twitch stream. If only it was for position. Again, thank you for all the viewers that have stayed tuned with us in both qualifying, the start of the race, and now towards the end of the race with 2 minutes and 30 seconds left to play here. It has been a pleasure to have you guys here as we watch Alex Arduin and Tyler Farmer battling it out here towards the end. Liam McNeil trying to chase down Aiden Hasselbrock with Jade Russell in the background trying to chase them down as well. So we see Alex Arduin approaching Joseph Germain. He's going to want to, Joseph Germain gives up the positions. He's like, hey man, I may have been fighting, but I can't hold you guys up. Ooh, there is a yellow. Looks like it's going to be Alan Zhu and Jade Russell. Curious what happened there. Looks like Jade Russell gave the position to Alan Zhu here. But right now, Jonathan Boscato is the only person that is holding this freight train of these two front runners back, and that is Mr. Boscato.
Looking at the replay, it looks like Russell went a bit too deep into the turn one and locked up his tires, going straight into Alan Zhu.
Thank you for the follow, Death Bunny 790. Definitely a very good Twitch name, Death Bunny 790. Thank you for the follow. Welcome to GT Meister Racing. We are a North American league. We race up both on PC and on Xbox. To check us out, definitely look for us on the simgrid.com or check out our Twitch link that is in the stream right now. As Jonathan Biscotto is on the back straight, he's going to have Alex Arduin trying to get the big fat toe from the BMW. He takes a look on the inside. Biscotto looks like he's going to cover the inside. Very curious on that line as he's going to now have to check up on the brakes to allow the McLaren by here. Farmer, as
Looks
these guys are still nose to tail.
looks like Farmer is Fernandez is catching up to Irfan at the moment. There was 6 tenths gap between them going to the final lap.
There you go. That's right. Nice call there. As we see P4 trying to get P3. I'm very curious. I would kind of really like to, okay, so P4's fastest lap, Wilson Fernandez, is a 135.932. I'm curious. I kind of want Wilson Fernandez to put another fast lap just like them with a 35.89 and then finish P3. Nothing on Irfan, but I just want him to finish P3 just so all the top three people, their names will all be highlighted purple for all three having the fastest lap. I just think that would be a once in a lifetime thing. I highly think that it would be awesome. And there it is, ladies and gentlemen. Your race is over. The drivers, this is going to be the final lap in this battle here. We're going to jump along board with the lead of the races. Alex Arduin through the final corner here as they come through and onto the back straight. They're going to get it here. Alex Arduin is going to lock out this win here at Indianapolis as he's about to cross the line, ladies and gentlemen. There you have it. He crosses the line. P1, Farmer P2. Irfan coming through with Fernandez in the background. He's going to try to reel him in as much as possible. The K-Pack Lamborghini managing to make it stick here as he crosses the line P3 and 4 as we have drivers just stopping on the track. Right there, ladies and gentlemen. Casey Bennett with Sean New in tow here through the final chicane, and they'll be on the back straight. What an amazing battle race that these drivers have had. There's some hiccups here and there in this race as Casey Bennett now is about to cross the line here as he comes through. There he goes, finishing out in P4. Shuffler in P, would believe it would have been 6, but he's got Ricky Scott right behind him. Shuffler's going side by side with Ricky Scott. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen, as he crosses the line. Zach Hendricks with Ryan Trent. They are coming through here. Oh, no, that would be Cagnes. I apologize. As they come through, Bruce Hopkins will be crossing the line here momentarily as Zach Hendricks in the yellow and red GTMR Porsche here as he comes around the bend. LaRock says, great race, best broadcast on Twitch. I thank you very much as I try to do my best for everybody and for all 18 viewers here that have watched the stream on both Twitch as well as the people on YouTube that has watched with us as we dual broadcast this. I want to say a huge shout out to all of you guys, all the drivers that came out, participated in race, as well as all the viewers as Cagnes crashes his car. Uh, as he crosses the line. Ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. Alex Arduin P1, Farmer P2, Irfan 3, Fernandez 4, Casey Bennett 5, Shuffler 6, Scott 7, Hendricks 8, Biscotto 9, Jermaine 10, Hasselbrock coming in P11, Liam McNeil losing out on that P10, slide himself P12, Ryan Trent 13, Jonathan Biaz 14, Sean New 15, Bruce Hopkins 16, Zoo 17, Russell 18, Cagnes P19 as they reeled everybody in there. Ladies and gentlemen, I had a wonderful time here broadcasting and doing this all for you guys. It is truly an honor for me to be here as well as with Asmi in the stream. I know Asmi didn't really talk a whole lot, so I apologize to that to Asmi. But
It's all right.
Asmi,
But it
what
was an
was your?
honor.
Go ahead. Sorry.
It was an honor being here. Being a commentator booth for the first time in so long.
Hey man, it is wonderful to have you here. You're always more than welcome. Our one of our wonderful drivers from Singapore. For those that do not know, it is truly an honor to have you here racing with us as well as commentating here with us. And hopefully we can see you back on the track But with that being said, we will be calling it a night. It has been truly an honor to have all the viewers watching, as well as everybody here participating in racing. And again, check us out on thesimgrid.com, as well as the Discord link in the chat to join us in this race. So honestly, have a wonderful night. We will be talking to you guys later. We'll see you next week at Valencia, and that is definitely going to be a wonderful track.